Mellow Protocol is an infrastructure for LTRs. In short, you can restake here, earn points for the potential airdrop and earn points for Symbiotic as well. If you scroll down on the Mellow main page, you will find a reference to Symbiotic. I consider Mellow and Symbiotic as part of a larger infrastructure competing with Eigenlayer. If you want to learn more details about Symbiotic and why I selected this protocol, you can watch the video about Symbiotic linked in the description. Let's start with the restaking process. Click on Restake now. You'll find a list of available restaking vaults. I select Renzo Restaked LST. LST stands for Liquid Staking Token. Since I participated in Renzo, I know the project and the issues they have encountered and overcome. Select it and connect your wallet. I use MetaMask. The wallet is connected. I have 1.1 STETH. If you want to learn more about what STETH is, you can find more information in my video about LIDAR, linked in the description. I'm going to deposit 1.05 STETH and I will receive 0.896 PZETH. Approve STETH. Next, the estimated fee is $1.87. Approve. Your approval transaction has been sent and is now confirmed. Then deposit 1.05 STETH. The estimated fee is $5.88 at the moment of video recording. Now I'm waiting for the transaction to complete. Your deposit transaction is confirmed. I have no points now, but I will start receiving them later. And I will show you how it looks. Now more than a month has passed. You can see my earned points here. I received 801.915 Mellow points and 794.184 Symbiotic points. How many points can you earn? If you deposit before the Symbiotic limits are reached, you receive 1 Mellow point per hour and 1 Symbiotic point per hour. If you deposit after the Symbiotic limits are reached, you won't earn Symbiotic points until the limits increase again, but you will farm 1.5 Mellow points per hour. If you want to learn the full logic, you can find additional info by clicking on this link. What else? You might ask why I received 0.89 LRT tokens instead of a 1-to-1 rate. This is because Mellow LRT tokens like PZETH are bound to the wrapped STETH. The exchange rate is 1 STETH equals 0.85 wrapped STETH. I can show you this better with an example of a withdrawal from Mellow. Click on Withdraw and I can receive the same amount of wrapped STETH. Then I can go to LIDAR and unwrap this amount. And I will get back my full initial deposit of 1.05 STETH. So don't worry about this. If you have additional questions, please write them in the comments. If you decide to withdraw, you need to wait for the completion within 1 to 4 days according to this information. Overall, you can find the APR, which is equal to the staked Ether on LIDAR. Here is the total value locked in the Renzo vault, which is 41,000 wrapped STETH or $129 million. There is also a limit of 50,000 wrapped STETH, so there is less than 9,000 wrapped STETH available to add here. And briefly, how Mellow works. You add liquidity to the Mellow vault, and Mellow then deposits your liquidity into Symbiotic when Symbiotic pools are open, meaning their limits have not been reached. Let's find additional information about Mellow. The investors are only tier 2 and lower tiers. It's possible that we might see some tier 1 investors later, like what happened with Renzo. Initially, Renzo also didn't have tier 1 investors. But then Binance Labs appeared on the list. And after the listing, even Consensus and Galaxy invested in Renzo. Next, let's find Mellow on DeFi Llama. It ranks 39th with a total TVL of $641 million. It is still not a very large amount. For comparison, Renzo has $1.3 billion in TVL. I want to remind you that Renzo initially worked with the Eigenlayer Restaking protocol, while Mellow works with Symbiotic, which has $1 billion in TVL. Concerning risks, please watch my video about Symbiotic and other videos about staking. The risks are similar. If we compare Mellow to Renzo, Renzo didn't have a withdrawal mechanism, which caused a DPEG, but Mellow does have one. And that's good for us and for the project. Of course, we are farming points here. The more points we receive, the better our chances of getting a good airdrop. To receive more points, we need to deposit more assets. For instance, Renzo filtered potential airdrop candidates by the amount of earned points. Those who deposited only 0.1 Ethereum were not eligible for the airdrop allocation. To recap, in my opinion, there is room for us to earn with Eigenlayer competitors like Mellow and Symbiotic. Mellow is actually the first infrastructure for LRTs, liquid restaking tokens for Symbiotic, and Symbiotic is the first competitor to Eigenlayer. This sounds good and promising for me. It's up to you whether to accept the possible risks and deposit your assets in Mellow. I'm just showing you how it works. So don't forget to subscribe if you found something useful in this video. Thank you for watching, see you in the next video.